start the promo, Kelly?
Yeah.
Let's start the promo. Let's go live. Okay, let's go live.
Okay, you should be walking us.
Yeah. So,
With Mr. Adamas here.
He's on his way.
How long is the promo?
Video's 50 seconds. 45 seconds live.
All right, go.
There it is.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
30 seconds. 25. 20 seconds. Yeah. 15 seconds. We're live at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Los Angeles. Brian Custer, host of Showtime Championship Boxing. This is the final press conference for the Davis versus Cruz undercard. Of course, on Sunday, December 5th, Showtime Championship Boxing comes right back at you from the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. The main event features one of boxing's biggest box office attractions, the unbeaten world champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis, putting his unbeaten record, his title, his knockout streak on the line against the hard-hitting East Sock Pitbull Cruz from Mexico City. It should be one heck of a main event, but no main event of a pay-per-view card can be that good unless it's supported by a phenomenal undercard. In Showtime Championship Boxing pay-per-view, the PBC Premier Boxing Champions have put a premium and an emphasis on making sure that the undercard fights are matched well, high, meaningful, high-stakes fights, and that's exactly what we have coming your way on Sunday. This undercard features gentlemen who are ranked in the top 10. We've got guys who have fought for the world title. It should be one heck of a night at the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. The event is promoted by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, and of course, TGB Promotions as well. The Showtime pay-per-view event, it all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 o'clock Pacific time here in Los Angeles. There are some tickets, some still for sale, and you can purchase those at AXS.com. Again, AXS.com. Let me bring up one of the promoters here. This gentleman, obviously, is the big promoter of Gervonta Davis. He's the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Mr. Leonard Ellerby.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today to join us. When I say we have a fabulous undercard, Mayweather Promotions has promoted the biggest fights in the history of the sport. It's no secret to that. I can honestly say that this phenomenal undercard that we have on Sunday night is probably the top 3 ever that I've ever promoted. Top to bottom, it's an outstanding card. In the co-main event, we have Sebastian Fundora. What an exciting fighter. Actually, he's one of my favorite fighters out there in the sport today. He'll be taking on Sergio Garcia, and I'm telling you, this is going to be an all-out battle. It is a WBC super welterweight title eliminator, and again, both of these guys are going to give you everything that they got. And then, prior to that, we got Sergey Derevyanchenko, we all know him. He's been in some very, very tough fights. Very, very good fighter. I thought that he's come on the bad end of some decisions. And again, he'll be looking to do his thing again on Sunday night and take advantage of all the experience that he's gained from being in there with top guys. He'll be taking on tough, hard-hitting Carlos Adames in a 10-round exciting bout. And then in the opening bout, kicking off the pay-per-view, we have top featherweight contender Gervonta Ramirez taking on former title challenger Miguel Mariaga. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I can honestly say this is one of the best undercards put together that I've ever seen. Personally, I'd like to thank Showtime, Tom Brown, and my good friend Samson, who will be coming up here shortly. Again, these are fights you don't want to miss. From top to bottom, this is going to be an outstanding card. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard. And he's right. You know, you look at this undercard, you've got guys who fought for the world title a few times, top 10 fighters. You know, we'll begin the card with Eduardo Ramirez against the Scorpion, Miguel Mariaga. Then we'll run into Carlos Adames, power puncher, taking on the technician, Derevyanchenko. We already know what Sergey has done. I mean, look, Daniel Jacobs, there's a number of people who thought he won that fight against Daniel Jacobs. Triple G, another close fight that could have went either way. Jamal Charlo, that you saw on Showtime pay-per-view as well. And then, as Leonard pointed out, Sebastian Fundora, the towering inferno, will step into the ring against Sergio Garcia. Sergio fighting for the first time outside of Europe. So this is his first time in the States. He's excited about that. He's unbeaten. 2 unbeaten fighters in the co-main. Couldn't ask for more. And it's high stakes for that fight as well. Let me bring up, and by the way, I want to acknowledge Tom Brown too, of course, the president of TGB Promotions as well. So always want to acknowledge him. But let me bring up a man here. He's going to talk to us more about the Fundora Garcia, the Ramirez Mariaga fight as well. He's the president of Samson Boxing, one of boxing's best friends, Mr. Samson Lukowitz.
Thank you. Nice introduction. Thank you. Well, it's unusual to be on Sunday, but maybe it will change the time of the best shows on Sunday, especially when it's pay-per-view. I need to talk about, first of all, about the opening bout between Mariaga and El Zurdito Ramirez. It will enter to the tournament of the WBC Monterrey on the last convention, which is the 59 convention in Mexico. So the winner, it will pass one step to the world title. If you see the fights, I'm so excited because it's something very, very special for every promoter to have a show of this kind. And talking about Sebastian Fundora and Sergio Garcia, I need to give him credit to the Spaniel that to take this fight when he have other opportunities that he didn't want even to think about it or talk about it, because he won a shot to the #1 contender in the WBC, that is Erickson Rubin. And after that, definitely, if Chavo is around, you need to face it. The situation with the WBC is very, very good for boxing. What you do is, you do this kind of tournament, and you do the kind of elimination bout that you will get to the champion. The real, I would say, the real mandatory. So I want to say thank you to Mauricio Suleiman. This fight between the Tower Inferno, you cannot miss. I mean, nobody wants to lose the all. So please, to every one of you, I want to say thank you to Showtime, to Tom Brown for the opportunity to bring my guys to a great show like this one. And besides the grand show, we need to talk about Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz. It be unbelievable fight, bombs away. You cannot miss. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
During this time, I think it was Chris de Blasio who came up here yesterday from Showtime and talked about this is the season where we give thanks. And I don't know about you, I'm thankful to have guys like Samson around. Listen, for those of you who don't know his story, I mean, this is a guy who was bedridden, cancer, everything, and he fought it like a champion. And look at him now. So it's good to see Samson. Great to see him. All right, let's get into the fights, man. Let's start. Samson talked about first fight of the night. And listen, this is a great featherweight fight. Eduardo Ramirez, 25, 2, 3, 12 knockouts, 1 no contest. He's taking on the Scorpion. Miguel Mariaga, 30-4, 26 knockouts. Miguel, I'll start with you. You said and told the boxing public, specifically the boxing scene, this fight is do or die for you. Tell us why.
Vos, bueno, le dijiste a Boxing Scene que esta pelea para vos es a vida o muerte. ¿Por qué? Contanos un poco más de tu filosofía para este domingo.
Muy buenas tardes. Primero que todo, darle las gracias a Dios y también darle las gracias a Showtime por la oportunidad.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I want to thank God and thank Showtime for this opportunity I'm being given.
Es una pelea muy importante, ya que todas son importantes, pero ahorita venimos en busca de una nueva oportunidad de título mundial y por eso digo que es una pelea de mucha responsabilidad.
Every fight is important, but in this case, this fight is to have a potential world title shot, and that's why I said it's do or die, because it's that big of a fight on Sunday night.
Eduardo, you look at your record. Five of your last 6 fights, you've won. Last 3 by knockout. Will Mariaga be the 4th straight knockout for you come Sunday?
Bastante impresionante. Contanos si crees que este va a ser tu 4º knockout consecutivo y un poco de tu estilo de pelea.
Buenos días a todos los presentes, gracias por estar acá y muchas gracias por la oportunidad, a mi promotor, a la gente de Showtime. Y como lo comentas, esperemos que el trabajo reflejado en el gimnasio, arduas horas trabajando al máximo, se reflejen con un knockout y si no, con una victoria.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody here, the presidents, the promoters, Showtime, BBC, everybody that made this fight possible. And, in the end, whether the win comes by knockout or by decision, it doesn't really matter to me. What matters the most is for the work that I put in on the gym, day in and day out, for this fight to be reflected on the ring and to give fans a great show.
Miguel, listen, you fought some of the best. You look at your record, Lomachenko, Oscar Valdez, just to name a few. Does Ramirez have anything that concerns you come Sunday?
Han peleado contra rivales de alto calibre, Lomachenko, Valdez, para mencionar algunos. ¿Hay algo de Ramírez que te preocupe y digas, esto es algo que me tengo que cuidar porque si no voy a pasar mal?
De todos los boxeadores hay que cuidarnos, ¿no? Hay que cuidarnos y bueno, este boxeador no es nada del otro mundo y creo que normal a todos los demás es de cuido, ¿no? Y bueno, no, lo más importante es que nosotros venimos al 100 y creo que va a ser una buena pelea.
Like you said, I fought against high caliber opponents, and Ramirez, to be honest with you, is nothing otherworldly. He's no one that, you know, I am overly concerned about. What I do know is that I have to be careful, I have to be focused, and I have to be aware of not underestimating anybody. But in the end, it's about what I do inside the ring.
Eduardo, you heard that. Just your response to that, and do you believe a victory over Mariaga gets you that coveted world title shot that you've been looking for?
Bueno, Eduardo, primero que nada, tu respuesta a lo que dijo Miguel recién, y después, si crees que ganándole a Miguel tendrías una oportunidad de pelear por el título mundial el año que viene.
Hablando sobre los rivales que ha tenido Mariaga, sí, es una buena lista de nombres, pero estamos en un mundo que hay que vivir el presente. Esto ya quedó atrás. Igual le quedó un poco de experiencia, pero el día 5 de diciembre se van a ver los resultados y esperemos sean positivos para México.
Well, as far as what Mariaga said, I'm a guy that lives in the present, not in the past. The list is impressive, yes, but it doesn't matter what is in the past, it's about what happens on Sunday night. And in the end, for me, on Sunday night, I hope to put Mexico's flag way up high, make everybody proud in my country, and show what I'm capable of. Y ahora, sobre lo del título mundial, contanos un poco qué pensás. Si ganás, ¿vas a tener esa oportunidad?
Esperemos que así sea. Por ahí suena algo de una eliminatoria, pero vamos por pasos. Primero vamos a tratar de salir con la victoria y seguiremos buscando ese tan anhelado título del mundo.
As far as the World Title Shot opportunity goes, I do hope that a win brings me a title eliminator shot, perhaps even a world title shot, but in the end I have to go step by step. I can't look past this fight, otherwise none of my ambitions are going to come true.
That's the first fight of the night. Then we move into the second fight on this pay-per-view card. You're probably asking, why should I watch? Well, let me tell you why. This was high stakes. WBC has ordered the winner, Derevyanchenko, and then Adames to fight the unbeaten Jaime Munguia. And of course, that for the right to face the middleweight champion, which is Jermall Charlo. A lot at stake for this second fight of the night. And you've got Carlos Adames, 20-1. 16 of his wins have come by knockout against the technician, Sergey Derevyanchenko. 13-3. 10 knockouts. Carlos, what does a win, in your opinion, over Sergey Derevyanchenko do for you?
Bueno, Carlos, acá Brian Castro mencionaba lo que significa esta pelea, de tener la oportunidad de enfrentar a Munguia, eventualmente si ganás, pues Charlo. ¿Qué significa esta pelea para vos? ¿Hay presión adicional sabiendo todo lo que hay en juego?
Bueno, buenas tardes para todos. Quiero pedir una disculpa por llegar unos minutos tarde. Sabemos que todas las peleas son un poco riesgosas. Trabajamos, entrenamos, nos preparamos cada día para dar lo mejor de nosotros arriba de un ring. Yo creo que todas las peleas son riesgosas y creo que el riesgo hay que correrlo. Yo sé la responsabilidad que tengo. A mí me gusta enfrentarme a grandes boxeadores como es mi contrincante ahora en esta actualidad. Es bueno saber que voy a enfrentar a un gran boxeador y estoy totalmente contento por eso.
Well, every fight has something big on the line. Every fight is risky. Otherwise, what are you fighting for, right? I always look for the biggest challenges. I want to fight against the best boxers. Sergey certainly is one of them. And I'm aware of everything that's at stake, but I don't run away from it. I'm excited for what's going to come on Sunday night.
Sergey, we talked at the beginning how you've had big fights. I mean, Daniel Jacobs, Triple G, Jermall Charlo, and you've had them like all in a row. I guess the question is, those fights can take a lot out of a fighter. Does Sergey still have a lot in the tank? And why will you be victorious on Sunday?
Yeah, I have motivation. I feel I have power, and this fight is future my career.
And you still feel that you're at the top of your game. Those fights didn't take a lot out of you. You still feel strong and ready to take on a power puncher like Adames.
Yeah, I feel strong. I saw fight with Adames. Adames is great fighters. Have his good punches, but I'm ready. I fight with Jacobs. I fight with Triple G. I fight Charlo. I fight many guys who have very strong punch. This is boxing. I'm ready.
Carlos, listen, he said, I fought Triple G, I fought Jacobs, I fought Charlo, I fought guys who've had big punches. You're coming up to 160. Why do we believe Carlos Adames can beat the technician?
Bueno, Carlos, básicamente Sergey te tiró los nombres en la mesa, ¿no? Triple G, Carlos, y él básicamente está pensando que vos subís a los 160 y él ya ha enfrentado a tipos poderosos como vos. ¿Qué te hace distinto? ¿Por qué él debería preocuparse con vos?
Yo entiendo que ha enfrentado a grandes boxeadores, pero él no puede subestimarme porque él se ha enfrentado a grandes boxeadores. Grande boxeador soy yo. Y si se enfrenta a mí, se está enfrentando a un grande boxeador. Y cuando nos enfrentemos de arriba, yo no soy ni Triple G, ni Danny Jacob, ni Dalmer Charlo. Yo soy Carlos Adames. Y a mí hay que ganarme arriba del ring. Y yo no quiero que él me subestime, porque yo no lo subestimamos a él. Así que no me subestime porque va a tener un gran pegador y boxeador delante de él el día 5 de diciembre.
I understand that he's fought against great fighters. I'm not Lomachenko, I'm not Triple G, I'm not Jacobs, I'm not Charlo, but in the end, you're fighting against Carlos Adames, and Carlos Adames is a big puncher. Don't underestimate me. I don't want you to underestimate me, otherwise you're going to have a big problem in your hands because I'm a great puncher. I consider myself a great fighter as well.
Sergey, every fight's important. Is this a must-win for you? Do you need to win this fight Sunday?
Yeah, of course. I need to win this fight because this future is. I need this fight. I win this fight. I fight with Minguia. I win Minguia. I'm mandatory for belt. This is my dream. This is my way belt. But every fight is important. Now is future. Future is my career.
Got it. Carlos, we'll wrap it up with this. We know you did work at 154. On Sunday, will we see the new hard-punching star of the 160-pound division in Carlos Adames?
Sabemos que te destacaste en las 154 libras, pero ahora en las 160 vamos a ver a un Carlos más poderoso, una nueva estrella que va a ir knockout por knockout.
Así es, lo acaba de decir. Yo comencé mi carrera en las 147 libras y era un tremendo pegador en las 147 libras. Cuando subí a las 154, mucha gente pensaron que yo no iba a ser un pegador en las 154. Fui tremendo peleador en las 154. Me voy a las 160 y también voy a ser tremendo peleador en las 160. Yo estoy dispuesto a enfrentar a cualquier boxeador y este no va a ser mi obstáculo. Yo pienso que es un buen rival, pero no es mi obstáculo para pararme a mí.
You said it, Custer. Look, I started at 147. People didn't think I was going to be that great at 147. I showed them. Then I went to 154. They didn't think I was going to be able to fight at 154. I showed them there. Now I'm at 160, and I'm going to show them again how powerful I can be, how big of a threat I can be. And Sergey, he's a good fighter, but he's not an obstacle for me. I don't consider him an unsurmountable mountain that I can climb past. and that's exactly what I'm going to do on Sunday night.
What did you call me, Custer? Or did you just throw that in? I think you threw that in there. I think you threw that in there, bro. I know my Spanish. I think you threw that in there.
I gotta give you props when they're doing it.
All right, let's get down to the co-main. Oh boy, here we go. Sebastian Fundora, unbeaten, 17-0-1. 12 of his wins have come by knockout. And then you got Sergio Garcia, unbeaten as well, 33-0. 14 of his wins have come by knockout. Sergio, I'll start with you because it's your first time fighting in the States, here in LA, first time fighting outside of Europe. And not only do you take on the challenge of fighting an unbeaten fighter, but a guy who stands 6'6" and a southpaw.
Bueno, Sergio, qué desafío que tenés, ¿verdad? No solo tu debut en Estados Unidos, tu primer pelea fuera de Europa, sino que te enfrentás a alguien que mide 1,90 m y pico y que es algo muy inusual para tu división. ¿Qué opinas de esta pelea?
Bueno, ya lo hemos hablado en otras ocasiones, ¿no? Que no es muy común tener un peleador de esta envergadura en nuestra categoría, pero es con lo que hemos entrenado y nos hemos preparado para ello. Para mí es un honor y estoy encantado de estar aquí, no tengo presión de nada y vengo a hacer un gran combate.
It's an honor for me to be here. I have absolutely no pressure. And Fundora, he's a peculiar fighter for this division. He's unusual, but I have sparred against opponents as tall as he is. So I feel ready for any challenges that he might throw my way on Sunday night.
Sebastian? Let's be honest. You've been known for the hype. You know, obviously that's what people promote you as, the towering inferno, obvious reasons. But is this the fight? Now we're on pay-per-view. You're going to get a lot of exposure. Is this the fight where you show off not only the power you possess, but the boxing skills as well, the fighting skills?
Well, I think it depends on the fight. If he gives me the chance to display my skill and last as long as he can, then I'll do it. But if the fight goes fast, like it usually does, then I'm just going to do what I always do.
Sergio, that's the one thing about Fundora. You know, people get in the ring with him, and he usually takes them out. What should we expect when you mix it up with Fundora on Sunday?
Pequeño problema, Sergio. Cuando Fundora entra al ring, generalmente noquea a los rivales. ¿Qué podemos esperar de Sergio García para que eso no suceda?
Bueno, yo creo que eso lo vamos a ver el día de la pelea, ¿no? Él vendrá con su estrategia, con sus ganas y su ambición, estoy seguro, y yo voy a ir con mi estrategia y lo tendré que demostrar el día de la pelea en el ring, no ahora con palabras.
Look, I'm not about to tell you what I'm gonna do as far as strategy goes, because it's up to me to show everybody on Sunday night what I can do beyond just words. What Sergio Garcia is capable of inside the ring, and to prevent those knockouts from happening. Fundora is gonna come with his ambition, his hunger, his drive, and I'm gonna do the same thing. And hopefully fans will enjoy a great fight.
Sebastian, one thing I like about you when you fight, despite the height, you're a really good fighter inside. You love to mix it up. Is that something that we'll see on Sunday?
Like I said before, if he's willing to come inside or try to walk me down, whatever he says, you'll definitely see what I always do. But it's what he brings. If he boxes me, if he fights me, we're ready for whatever.
We'll wrap it up with this. Sergio, first time fighting here in the States, what do you want the American boxing fans to come away with after they watch you fight on Sunday?
¿Qué crees que la gente estadounidense piense de vos después de verte pelear en el co-evento principal? ¿Qué conclusiones te gustaría que tenga tras verte pelear?
Bueno, pues ya lo he dicho, que vengo a vencer y a convencer. Entonces voy a hacer una pelea inteligente y una pelea muy disputada y que al público le va a gustar. Ya dije que no vengo a correr por el ring, respeto a mi rival, respeto a todos los rivales con los que me he enfrentado, pero no rehuyo la pelea de ninguno.
I came here to win the fight, and I came here to win hearts. It's gonna be a great fight because I didn't come here to run. I came here to stand up to Fundora. And hopefully fans are gonna be able to enjoy what's gonna be a great spectacle, and I'm gonna show what I'm capable of with my pride and my skills on the line.
Sebastian, give you the final word. You heard that. What can you guarantee the people? People who were laying down their hard-earned money for pay-per-view, they paid a lot of money to come out to the Staples Center. They want to see a good fight. What can you guarantee they're going to get on Sunday?
I can guarantee you'll get your money's worth. This fight right here, this is going to be the fight of the night. Definitely. I guarantee you that.
There you have it, folks. This is the undercard that comes your way on Showtime pay-per-view on Sunday, right up under Davis and Isaac Cruz. I know there's members of the media got some questions, so let's get right to them. Keith Ide.
Brian, thank you. My question is for Sergio. I have two questions for him, actually. Sergio, you mentioned that you sparred against guys who are as tall as Sebastian. How difficult was it for you to find fighters that tall around your weight class to spar with?
Mencionaste que te entrenaste con sparrings tan altos como Fundora. ¿Qué tan difícil fue para vos encontrarlos en el rango de tu división?
No, ya expliqué que lo que saco de más es que los sparring que he hecho de su envergadura siempre han sido de más peso. Han sido de mayor categoría, entonces me hace trabajar más y me ha hecho mejor entrenamiento.
Sorry about that. And well, you know, the sparrings that I had were actually heavier than Fundora is, and I consider that an advantage, something that made me tougher, something that made me stronger, and it's gonna come in handy when I get into the ring on Sunday night.
My second question for you, Sergio, is I know you beat Ted Cheeseman, was an undefeated fighter at the time, but how much of a step up do you feel that Sebastian Fundora is for you?
¿Qué tan grande es el desafío de Fundora comparado con rivales en el pasado? ¿Has enfrentado a rivales invictos, los has vencido, pero esto es otro nivel para vos?
Me encanta este desafío, estoy encantado de estar aquí, ya he dicho que no tengo ningún tipo de presión, vengo a su casa, vengo a hacer mi pelea y vengo a disfrutarlo. No voy a defraudar, vengo a hacer un gran espectáculo y lo vais a ver el día 5.
I absolutely love this challenge. I'm coming into somebody else's house. I have no pressure. All I want to do is give fans a great show and enjoy each and every single moment. Hopefully with a happy ending, but in the end, I plan to savor every single second that I have on Sunday night.
Chris con TV Boxeo, para Carlos Adames, Sergi está haciendo sparring con Edgar Berlanga, alguien que pega muy duro también. ¿Qué piensas del sparring que está teniendo él para la pelea contigo?
Bueno, esos son sparring, esos no son peleas. El sparring y pelea no son iguales. Él puede hacer sparring si quiere con Superman. Es conmigo que él va a pelear. A mí no me importa con quién él haga sparring, él se va a enfrentar a mí. Y cuando nos enfrentemos sabemos quién pega más y quién no. Él hace sparring con guantes de 16 onzas, nosotros peleamos con guantes de 10 onzas. Ahí se sabe quién pega más y quién no pega y quién pega menos. A mí no me interesa con quién él haga sparring, a mí me interesa que él pelee.
I don't care at all. Well, actually, the question was that his opponent is sparring with Berlanga and how that concerns him, perhaps. And Carlos Adames says, look, sparring, first of all, is not a fight. And he can spar with Superman if he wants. I don't care. He spars with 10-ounce gloves. That's different than the gloves we use in the fight. So, you know, I'm going to be ready for him. Fundora is going to, my opponent is going to realize how strong I am. And in the end, I came to show that I'm really strong. And he can spar whenever he wants, whoever he wants. But Carlos Adames is a whole different thing.
Let me say, ¿cómo se dice character? How do you say
character?
Two S, tell him he's a character.
You mean character? He's a character. Sos un personaje. O sea, okay, yeah.
This is Frankie Olague with FightHype.com. This is for Sergio Garcia. with Sander Martin's win over Mikey Garcia, does he have any motivation from that performance with Sander Martin to come and upset Sebastian Fundora?
Bueno, han habido batacazos recientemente que nadie se esperaba. ¿Eso te motiva a que vos podés agregar un capítulo más a esa historia de sorpresas en el boxeo?
¿Estás rabioso?
Dale, no.
¿Tiene ganas?
No, pensé que era conmigo.
Sí, la verdad que España está en auge, el boxeo español está en auge ahora y la verdad que lo que más me anima es una oportunidad muy importante que no quiero dejar escapar, sobre todo por mi familia, por mi esquina, que es la que ha estado conmigo desde el minuto cero cuando empecé con 14 años con Víctor y mis dos pequeños, que es por los que yo peleo y por los que me voy a dejar la piel el día 5.
Spain is certainly on the rise, but I fight for my family. I want to make them proud. I want to make my corner proud. Those are the people that mean the most to me and who I fight this fight for. Obviously, the fans in Spain as well, but this fight is for my little ones, for my wife, for my family.
Sergey, I would assume that you studied Carlos Adames to some extent. Did you learn anything from his past fights, like the ones with Patrick Teixeira, where he was ahead in the fight and then he couldn't quite finish the job?
Sorry, what was the question for?
He wants to know, have you studied Adames? Have you looked at tape of him? What have you seen out of him?
Of course, I saw many fights. Adames, this great fighter, a strong fighter, a good punch. Yeah, I know, and I'm training camp for Adames. I know him. I know what I must do him, and December 5th, I show.
So there you have it, folks. The undercard for Davis versus Cruz. Again, all of this comes your way on Sunday, December 5th. Showtime pay-per-view. We kick things off at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That's 5 o'clock Pacific Time here on the left coast. Some tickets are on sale at AXS.com. Davis versus Cruz, being promoted by Mayweather Promotions, of course, Samson Boxing, TGB Promotions, and GTD Promotions as well. I want to thank you guys for coming out. Gentlemen, we're going to have a face-off with each fight.
Bueno, vamos a tener los careos ahora, por favor, sigan acá, Andrew, que párense y cada uno va a hacer su careo con su respectivo oponente, por favor. Muchas gracias.
You're good.
Thank you for catching up. Down here one more, guys. Down here one more time. All right, thanks.
Let me know if you're blocked.
Right here first. See Down here in the middle, guys, one more time. We'll just get all six going out there. Shot buses. It's tight to you. Who fell on stage? Who fell? Grab the basketball. Everyone down here first. And cameras in the back, guys.
Straight up.
All right, thank you. Guys, anybody who wants one-on-ones with the fighters, come up and grab them, please. Let's try if you could. Let's use the artwork.
Sebastian,
yeah.
A few minutes?
Yeah, sure.
It's Ron Goodall from FightHype.com. Just got to adjust my camera. I'm so short with Sebastian Fundora. How's it going?
Good, everything's good. How are you?
Great. Obviously, another big event that you're going to be on here. And I just want you to talk a little bit about how special this fight is going to be for you coming up.
Oh, I'm very excited. This is my third eliminator, my second WBC eliminator, and we're fighting here in LA, in one of the biggest places here in Staples Center, or Crypto.com, whatever they changed it to, but it's very exciting. I'm excited to be the co-main event on such a big card like Tank, and ready to put on another show.
Now, seeing the fact that your opponent is relatively unknown to the boxing public until you had the fight with Ted Cheeseman, obviously there's been a lot of upsets in boxing. I'm sure that you're not overlooking your opponent. Did you get a chance to watch that Ted Cheeseman fight between him?
I don't know. I work what I want to work in the fight. I don't care what he's going to do. I'm going to be ready for whether he's going to box, whether he's going to move, he's going to fight me on the inside. We prepare for everything. We prepare to fight the way Sebastian Fundora fights.
Now, I do have to ask, and I know you stated many times and never overlooking your opponent, but obviously by getting past this, your opponent coming up Sunday, Jamel Charlo or Castano, the winner of that fight, is obviously where you're heading towards, correct?
Of course, they're the one with the belts. That's all 4 belts right there, and that's what I want. So if whoever ends up with the belts, or say it's a draw again, I want whoever has it.
Did you get a chance to see the obviously the fight for Undisputed, and if so, what was your thoughts on who won or how that fight went about?
The thing is, I didn't watch the fight.
Really?
I didn't even watch the fight. We were doing something. I think we were all shopping at Home Depot or something like that. So I was busy doing things, but they still have the belts. Those are the guys to beat. That's what I want.
And just my final question on that, just curious, I know that watching a fight doesn't always translate what the fight will be if you face them, but just why don't you watch the fights of your opponents? Is it just because of that mindset that they might fight you differently than obviously they would face their opponents?
That's just something, I watch fighters that excite me. A lot of the people in my division don't really excite me like that. The Porter and Crawford fight, that's an exciting fight. Those are fighters that I want to grab some stuff from. But people that I fight, most of the time, I know I'm going to beat them. So I'm not really trying to pick off from what they have. So.
And the final prediction of the Davis and Cruz?
I'm going Davis. We know Davis and Seal Small. Calvin and him, it's more of a sentimental feeling. So, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
When you say you watch fighters that you can pick something from, what did you pick away from the Crawford?
That body shot.
Yeah, I want to see Ted Davis.
I grew up watching Prestige.
That's my boy, man. Andre.
Hey, how you doing?
It's been a while.
How's everything?
Good. I'm on the West Coast now.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's a little MIA.
All right, you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah, is that okay?
Let's rock.
Too much? I know you just got some food.
Yeah, no, let's rock. It's already boxed and ready to go.
Yeah, you're more than welcome if you want to have a seat. Everything's been great with you?
Yeah, everything's been wonderful.
Awesome, that's a blessing. Let's put the pack right here. sakes.
I'm afraid to take my mask off.
No, you can keep whatever, you know.
Oh, you going back to the... Okay.
All right, Ron, good off the FightHype.com. I'm here with Andre Rozier, the one and only, trained so many champions and many more to come. How's everything going?
Oh, everything is wonderful. We're out in LA. We're having a good time. We're here for our first Sunday fight.
Yeah.
Sergey against Carlos Adames, and I'm looking forward to him having a spectacular performance on Sunday.
Have you had a chance to see his previous fights, you know, with the Patrick Teixeira and things like that?
I saw him against Patrick Day and Teixeira.
Of course.
And he's a good fighter. Nothing extraordinary. Well, just a good, basic, strong fighter. And it's going to take a little bit more than that to upper hand the technician.
And he mentioned earlier, and I was at the fight with Triple G, that many people felt that Sergey won. You know,
I was one of them.
Of course, and seeing that this fight puts him back in a position to face likes of a Jamal Charlo again. I think.
Right.
Obviously, this fight's extremely important. Is there any difference in preparation that you guys have gone into this fight, or from the previous one?
No, well, we usually maintain the same balance and the same procedures. Depending on the opponent, if we do have something that we need to work on a little bit more, we will. Fine-tuning the jab a little bit better with the distance and timing, and just utilizing his all-weather natural abilities and putting it together so that he becomes sharper and wiser.
Now, not looking past the opponent that's on hand, but assuming the fact that things do go the way that you guys want, and a Jamal Charlo rematch happens, taken from the first fight and going to maybe like a second fight, not revealing the game plan, but was there, is there going to be something different going into that second fight that you guys get that would change, obviously, the result?
Oh, well, we would definitely work on some distancing and being a little quick off the trigger.
Okay. Do you feel like that was the difference on the first fight? That maybe
we were maybe a step behind.
Okay.
And we can't be a step behind with the caliber of athlete that Charlo is.
Mm-hmm. And seeing that, you have an incredible fight coming up with one of your other fighters, Richard Comey.
Yes.
Going against Lomachenko.
Yes.
And in New York as well, where a lot of magic's been happening. How's that?
A lot of upsets have been happening.
Correct, definitely. and I guess before I get into that, just want to check on Richard Comey and how's everything going into a big fight like that coming up.
It's Richard's training really hard. As you do well know, Richard is one of my favorites, and I'm looking for him to be victorious in this bout. Of course, it's against one of the best that have done it, but nothing is so insurmountable that you can't do it. Mm-hmm. And I expect Richard to be spot on, a lot sharper. He's going to maintain his balance, keep his hands up, very important, and do some things that people don't expect you to do against southpaws.
And going from, I guess, watching the Teofimo Lopez fight with Lomachenko, it seemed like he was very cautious against a very big puncher in that division.
Right.
Assuming that Lomachenko may potentially have a distance fight and try to avoid the power puncher for Richard Comey, are you guys planning of a technical distance fight as well in case?
Well, without a doubt. Actually, I'd like to see it maintain a distance balance because at the end of those punches, Richard has incredible punching power. My thing is, don't let a smaller, quicker man get close enough to have his way. So you keep him at the ends of 1-2s, it's going to be a problem night.
Absolutely.
Really.
And then assuming the fact that he gets past Lomachenko, that catapults him in the top of in one of the positions for a title shot, more likely. Again, there was a recent upset that happened with Teofimo Lopez and Kambosos. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, you know what? As a betting man, I would have lost my house on that fight.
Really? Okay.
I would have never thought that was going to take place, and I'm happy. And boxing needs some shakeups at times, but I didn't think that was going to be the one. Mm-hmm. I don't know Kambosos. I boxed against him with Mickey Bay in a very close fight, and I just couldn't see him topping Lopez. So with that being said, I got to give him all the credit in the world, and I'm looking forward to Richie succeeding and being victorious, and then possibly being able to face him for those titles.
And I guess just dissecting, because you're a great trainer, and not taking away anything from Kambosos, but just some people have, I guess, mentioned that Teofimo Lopez may have had the wrong game plan, or maybe came in just looking for the knockout. Did you see that was not a Teofimo Lopez or a bad game plan, or was this Kambosos just being clearly the better man?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
This TO camp seemed to have some complications. One of them being that it kept being rescheduled and rescheduled. And I really didn't see the Lopez that I'm used to seeing. I didn't see that. So I'm not going to take away Kambosos' victory because he came in and did what he had to do.
Absolutely.
I thought it was a close fight.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was like they were, oh, it's 10-2 and this is 9-3, whatever. It was a close fight. Interpretation is what boxing's all about by judges. So if they felt that he was the victor, then that's what it is for that night. But I think that we saw enough to know that, check this out, there were complications.
Absolutely.
There were complications.
And seeing that there's a couple other lightweight fights happening before Richard fights.
Right.
Obviously, the one that Sergey is going to be fighting on, Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz.
Right.
Any predictions on that, seeing that the Rolling Romero was being replaced?
Well, Gervonta that's my baby boy. I love the kid.
Yeah, he's been in camp many times.
Yes.
In the dungeon.
And he's come by the gym. He's funny. He's charismatic. In his own Gervonta Davis type of way. And you just got to appreciate him. But he can fight. And he can punch. So I think there won't be many surprises on Sunday.
Okay.
Devin Haney against JoJo Diaz.
Like you just read my mind right there.
It's an intriguing fight. I honestly think that Devin has enough boxing IQ to control the environment. But JoJo is a little beast. So, but I think coming up from 126 to 130, I think that this might be a little too much too soon. And I'm going to have to side with Devin being victorious in that bout.
Okay.
Basically, that's the lightweight division in a nutshell. So whatever we get from that is where we're going with it.
Absolutely. And then, I didn't know, did you need to take, okay. Another big fight just with coming up is the Chris Algieri and Conor Benn.
Right.
And it's not in the works, but it's been announced and things like that.
Oh, yeah, they're supposed to be boxing on December 11th.
Yeah.
Same night as Richie and Lomo.
So.
And that fight is very intriguing.
I was available, Brian King.
Here you have a young, very strong, very tenacious, and not as technical as, say, Chris is, athlete against, say, a mature, older athlete that has great boxing prowess, but he's not a big puncher. Can he hold off this young lion? Can he keep him at bay? That is the only question that is on my mind, because we can say it, but we have to see it. And I think that will be the deciding factor. If Chris can control the environment, keep him at bay with the jab and movement, then he could really just sort of walk away with it. But there's going to be times when he's got to stand his ground. Yeah. And this kid is a really, really strong kid, and he can punch. So I'm going to have to side with Chris. Yes, I'm being biased.
No, it's not. I mean, he's been in there with obviously Pacquiao, Errol Spence, and Khan, the list goes on. So,
but it's a tough fight.
Absolutely,
it's a tough fight, and we just have to make sure that he can control the environment, and we'll be okay.
And then I obviously have to ask about Edgar Belanga's. He's had a run of knockouts in addition to testing fights that show that he's able to go the distance, battle adversity and things of that nature. And he's obviously coming off of a surgery.
Yes.
Everything. Just wanted to update on how's everything going with him.
Well, he's been under therapy and physical therapy, and and working the muscle correctly so that it can heal, and basically taking it one step at a time. So we're hoping that when therapy is done, we'll get back to some basic training and see where it's at, and then move from there.
And obviously not trying to fast track him to, the division's really tough and things of that nature. Just curious, where do you feel that he would be able to be ready for, I guess, a championship fight, just the developmental fights that you guys are preparing for him?
Well, we've had a setback, so we really got to keep an eye on what we're doing now. And I think that we're going to need at least, at the time that all the physicians say he's capable of performing once again, maybe about 6 months, and then we could further assess where we're going to move and how we're going to do that. Yeah.
And obviously the big fight that, he's aiming at, and it'd be a huge fight, rivalry, with Canelo and things of that nature. Canelo's obviously jumping up to the cruiserweight, and I just wanted obviously to get your thoughts of just that whole...
Let me tell you about this one. Canelo is the king. Canelo can do whatever he wants to do. Canelo's showing us. He says, I'm going up to cruiserweight. I'm going to win a cruiserweight world title then. I don't know. Canelo might say, hey, listen, guys, I'm fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world. Who's to say? And that might be the end of it. I can't even speak. I don't even speak about Canelo anymore because you don't know his actions. We don't know what he's going to do. The only thing I can say is that when he gets in there, he gets the job done. And with that being the point, he can do anything he wants to do. So we'll have to see. We can't put a time stamp on that one. We'd end up getting a ticket to New York because we just don't know. But we'll have to see what happens.
And seeing that some fight fans feel that they probably prefer him to face, I guess, like a David Benavidez or a Beterbiev or things. Do you feel that a David Benavidez Canelo fight should be one in the horizon pretty soon? And
I'd like to see that fight. I'd really like to see it because I think it'll be a great fight. Benavidez is a fantastic fighter. He gets in there and he gets the job done. And it seems like he has no fear. I mean, he's ready to go. And I'd like to see his skills tested against those of Canelo. But do I think it'll happen? At this point, I don't know.
Why is that? Is you think like it's a big threat at the moment, or it's just not a big money fight?
No, I don't think. Well, once again, Canelo is like rewriting history. He's going to go up to cruiserweight. I think he's going to come back down to light heavyweight, and that's where because even though he's only like 5'8", that weight looks good on him. He looks like an Adonis. He's cut up to the nines, and I'm like, wow, what is this kid doing? But I don't know if I don't know. He already did what he had to do at super middleweight. He became the undisputed super middleweight champ of the world. So he might not even want to come back. He might want to go to 75 and stay there. Because gaining and losing weight is tedious on the body. Tedious. So I couldn't even say what it might be. We'll have to see. It's a fantastic question.
And then seeing someone who faced Canelo, Danny Jacobs, and seeing social media posts of it. How's the relationship with you and Danny? I know the fight fans love to see family coming back and reemerging and probably seeing Danny.
There was so much unfinished business going on. I've always told Danny he could be really super great. That fight with Canelo was so close. I mean, one round back on our side, and Danny and Canelo have a draw. Once was it 115, 113, 115, 113. So my thing is like he wants to be in the Hall of Fame.
Of course,
that's his goal. We have some things in the works. I don't want to really talk about it yet. Let them manifest themselves.
Of course.
But I know you might have heard that maybe Danny and Joe Smith could be fighting each other.
Seeing that Joe has to fight now.
Right. He has to get by that, and
that'd be huge, a huge New York fight, and wow.
insane.
Right?
Insane. We love to see it happen. But we're going to work on it. We'll see what we get. And at that point, he wins that fight. He's on the tier of it. He might even make it at that point.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, you got to shoot to aim for greatness.
Yeah.
If you do box against Joe Smith, and if you are victorious, then what you have to do is unify the light heavyweight titles. That's against Berterby. But Berterby has his own troubles now with my other nephew, Marcus Brown.
I know, yeah.
So with that being said, it's a lot of moving pieces. So we have to see how it works out. But if Danny and Joe Smith should fight, Danny's pretty much opened the door for him to enter into the Hall of Fame. To solidify it, he would have to try to at least unite.
Absolutely. Against a guy like Beterbiev, a lot of lists have him as a pound-for-pound fighter.
Right, right. So we have to see. It's something that we have to see. Because there's other things that could manifest themselves from that. With those things winning, maybe Canelo might say, you know what, I'll fight Danny at light heavyweight again.
Ooh, that rematch. Okay.
That rematch.
Yeah.
That rematch. It's that people tend to forget how close those things are when they're taking place.
Absolutely.
We don't forget.
Yeah.
We don't forget. We remember what we had and what we dealt with. So if we can get close enough to that, it'd be fantastic.
And you mentioned Marcus Brown is facing the heavy hitter and things like that. I'm sure Beterbiev's going in there as the favorite.
Yes.
And I'm sure rightfully so from the performance himself.
But one thing about Marcus Brown that a lot of people don't realize is that he's a very big puncher. And he's a fluid boxer. If he puts it all together and is flawless, he beats Beterbiev. But he has to put it all together. Can't have steps. Beterbiev don't miss a step. That's why he's 16-0 with 16 knockouts. Can't miss that step.
Would you say that if Marcus Brown beat Beterbiev, he would be the best fighter in that division?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You have to give him that credit. We need a rematch, and then we go from there. But you have to give him that credit.
And I won't take too much of your time. I appreciate, time is always just happens.
Oh, we have time. We have number of time.
A couple updates on Richardson Hitchens. I know that
he's boxing on December 18th. I don't remember his opponent's name, but he's boxing in Minnesota. So I'm looking for him to have a fantastic performance. And who else would you like to know about?
Well, I've seen that you have a relationship with Demetrius Andrade, and he had a performance.
Oh yeah, see, it seems like he's being mandated to box against the Kakistan kid.
Yeah.
And
Janabek, that fought on the Crawford.
Right. Which in my mind, it's just like it doesn't make sense. Why isn't he fighting the caliber of fighters that are necessary to get him to that point? So I don't understand it. But listen, if we have to fight him, we have to fight him. It just is what it is, and we will be more than ready to represent and win again.
Do you feel like Janabek's previous performances don't, put him in that, in that pedigree of if Demetrius beats him, would he get credit?
Of course he won't. If he beats him, that's going to be the worst win he gets. You beat this 11-0 kid. You were supposed to beat him. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If he comes up short, oh my God, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, you didn't rise to your truest occasion. This, that. So if you have to fight, you might as well, destroy him. That's it. Don't let him get past a certain point in the fight and just do what you have to do.
Do you think we'll ever get a Demetrius Andrade fight with, the likes of Jamal or Triple G, just similar like how Danny Jacob was able to get fights in that?
I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, especially with people like Jamie Munguia had the chance to fight for that world title.
Yeah.
He's avoided Boo-Boo like the plague. That's his boogeyman. Not him. But we all know in that fight what's going to happen. So it's not even a question. Triple G is part of Matchroom. That fight could have happened. I don't know why that didn't happen. It just boggles my mind how he's not getting the opportunity to do what he has to do. He got in there with Quigley. When I was in the back with him, I said, listen, nephew, don't let him get past the 5th round. He said, what you want me to do? I said, if you can stop him in the first 3, I'll be very happy. But don't let him get past the 5th round. And he went out there, starched him in a second. What happened? Nothing. So we need more than that to represent that. That's what we do. We need more.
And then, obviously, before I let you go, I just wanted to get your thoughts on a upcoming prospect, seeing that it's so close to New York, and I'm sure you've been around. Jerron Bruce Ennis, have you? I just wanted to just get your overall thoughts. Everyone's been praising him. Floyd was praising him previously, yesterday.
I've known him since he was a little guy like that. His father and I are very good friends.
Bozy?
He's a crack up to hang out with. He's one of my real good Philadelphia brothers. And Gerard is the truth. He is the truth. He's a big, strong, fast, mean welterweight. And in another minute, the other guys are not going to be able to deal with him at all. I don't see him at welterweight too much longer either. Win a world title, then go up to junior middleweight, and maybe even middleweight. But he's young. He has the charisma and the personality to be special, and he gets that job done in the ring. People want to see knockouts, and that's what he does. So he's one of my favorites.
And just getting more into the technical aspect, like seeing, like you've been watching boxing, you've been training world champions, like just what in Gervonta specifically that just makes him different from this new herd of upcoming fighters? Is his speed? Is his IQ?
It's everything. It's his capability. It's his power. It's his speed. It's his tenacity. He wants to get you out of there. And that makes him special.
You see him as a potential future, like next pound for pound?
Oh, indubitably, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. He's definitely going all the way. All the way.
And then my just final breakdown from your trainer, I just have to get your thoughts on an AJ Usyk rematch. It seems like that's going to happen, and seeing based on how the first fight happened, do you see the fight playing out any different? Seeing that AJ's been looking for a new trainer and maybe trying new things.
You know what? I don't. AJ has disappointed me so much with the way he goes about his business of boxing. There's no way he should have lost to Andy Ruiz. There's no way he should have really lost to Usyk. He fought like a chump. And I know he can be much better than he's showing. I don't know why he's not doing it. And I don't want everything to be blamed on his trainer, because I know his trainer doesn't tell him, back up and don't punch. And it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So when people start going in that direction, looking for those excuses, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. So I think if his mind doesn't get right, his mind has to get right about boxing. And he has to stop thinking about, I'm that superstar and this, that, and the other thing, and get down to the bare knuckles of it, then maybe he can be successful against Usyk in the rematch. But if not, you're going to get the same results.
Well, of course, I always appreciate the time that you always give me, and I definitely have to have you shout out Havoc Media and then all the Havoc. I'm trying to think, it was like an old fight, and I was watching, was it maybe a Floyd fight? No, it wasn't. I think, how long has Havoc clothing been around? I feel like I've been watching it. It's like I went back and watched some old, I think, not Donald
since like
Curry.
1996.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and just to let you know, Havoc Advisory and Management, we have a bunch of young kids under our banner, and One for All Promotions. Mm-hmm. My brother from another mother, Everest David, he's doing a fantastic job. He's new on the scene, but he's learning the game, and that promotion company is going to be making some serious noise. We have a new entity coming up. I'm going to mention it now because it'll be on the scene in January. Valdez Promotions.
Okay.
They'll be working in unison. Havoc Athletics and Enterprises. Just covering all the mandates and covering all the bases. And last but not least, Havoc Boxing Gear. We are in the hurt business, and somebody gonna get hurt up in here.
Awesome. I always appreciate the time. Thank you so
Definitely.
much.
It's a joy.
It's fun catching up, and more importantly, Let me see. Good. So I'm just live right now, so I'm just cutting out with the live real quick. All right, guys. I think we're all good right now. We covered the undercard weigh-in and I'm not weigh-in, press conference. So we got an incredible undercard, and you guys just tune in tomorrow for the weigh-in. Today we'll have the Devin Haney weigh-in popping in. Yep. And so we'll have you guys check us out a little bit later. And just stay tuned. We'll have all the Andre Rozier interview posted up, included with all the other great things. So stay tuned and stay locked in. Appreciate it, guys.
Well done.
.4 for Akhmatovich. And out of the scale, El Animal, Philip Hergovich. 246.8, 246.8 for the reigning IBF International Heavyweight Champion. Hergovich versus Akhmatovich. 10 rounds for the IBF International Heavyweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing in association with Wasserman Boxing, live on DAZN.
Speaking with Philip Hergovich, who will enjoy an almost 20-pound advantage on Saturday night, taking on undefeated Amir Akhmatovich. We welcome Philip Hergovich into the studio. How you doing? Philip, you will be taking on undefeated but untested Amir Akhmatovich. You're going to have an almost 20-pound advantage on Saturday night. How will you use that to your advantage?
You will see on Saturday night. I don't want to underestimate him. I'm ready for everything, and I'm ready to go to distance, and I have big power to knock him out in early rounds. So, looking forward to Saturday night.
You've been called one of the most avoided men in boxing. We know that you have very high ambitions. If you are able to be successful on Saturday night, who would you like to face in 2022?
Yeah, I'm calling out big names for months and years, and I feel ready for everyone. And I would like to face some of the top guys in the division. I would like to have big step up, and it's on my promoters to match me with some good guys. I feel ready for everyone.
But before that, you will be taking on Amir Akhmatovich on Saturday night, December 4th. Also on our card, we will have the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. And to weigh in both women, let's throw it back up to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with Lou DeBella's DeBella Entertainment and Michael Short's Dakota Promotions, as they are proud to present 10 rounds of boxing for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. And now making her way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. Her professional record, 10 victories, 3 defeats, 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Here's the former world title challenger, Candy Crush Wyatt. Wyatt.
I'm not sure why this isn't coming. Yeah,
And her opponent now making her way to the stage. She is the defending undisputed world champion. Professional record, 10 victories against 2 defeats. She has 3 wins coming by way of knockout. She's a 2-division world champion fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, USA. Here is the reigning, defending, undisputed WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, and IBO welterweight champion of the world, Jessica Casquilla McCaskill. Now to the scale, please. The challenger, Candy Crush Wyatt. $146.2 for the challenger. $146.2 for Candy Crush Wyatt. And out of the scale, the undisputed 2-division world champion, undisputed in welterweight, Jessica McCaskill. 146.4 pounds for the undisputed welterweight champion. McCaskill versus Wyatt, 10 rounds for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world.
And we will be speaking to Jessica McCaskill, who just weighed in. Jessica, for so long, you were the hunter. You're now the hunted. It's hard enough to become an undisputed champion. It's harder still to stay there. Has your preparation changed at all now that you are the champion?
I wouldn't say my preparation has changed, but we've definitely gotten a lot more detailed in certain things, and everything from my nutrition to strength and conditioning to the rounds that we spar to the self-care and recovery, things like that.
You'll be taking on Candy Wyatt on Saturday night. We know Candy Wyatt's tough. I know you said you don't watch too much film.
Yeah.
But you've spent some time now with her. You stared down with her a couple times this week. Anything you noticed from her being in her presence?
I just know she's ready, and that's great when you have an opponent that comes in last minute and they're not here for a payday. They're here to actually fight. I mean, a good fighter always wants to be on the other side of the ring with another person that's willing to fight, a good fighter. So it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting. Jessica McCaskill will be defending all of her welterweight championship belts on Saturday night. Also on the card, Montana Love versus Carlos Diaz. We're going to throw it up to David Diamante to keep it going here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in the chief support of the evening for this fabulous fight card taking place here on Saturday night. And it's being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with Zanfer Promotions, as they're proud to present 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super lightweight division made at 144 pounds. And now making his way to the stage, please welcome with a professional record of 29 wins, 1 defeat, 2 no contests, and 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando de Santa Cecilia, Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Carlos Chuco Diaz. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. He's a southpaw. He is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with a record of 16 wins. No defeats. He has 1 draw and 8 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Cleveland, Ohio. Here is Montana. Pretty Love. welcome Carlos Chuco Diaz. $139.8 for Chuco Diaz. And now to the scale from the Buckeye State, the undefeated Montana Love. 143.8 for Montana Love, 143.8. Diaz, 10-round super lightweights at 144 pounds, Matchroom Boxing in association with Sanford Promotions.
I think we have to weigh in Poppy the dog as well. The official mascot for Montana Love. That fight will be at 140 pounds. Our co-main event, chief support. Montana Love will be taking on tough Carlos Diaz. And speaking of 140 pounds, I'm joined now by another 140-pounder, Regis Prograis. So we just saw Montana Love weighing in. I understand that you've sparred with Montana Love. You know him well. What do you expect to see from him on Saturday night?
I mean, me and Montana, that's my dog, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Montana, very explosive, very good, very skilled southpaw. We did a lot of runs together in the gym out in Texas. I expect to see, explosion from him. Just some real good fights. Like I said, he got skill, got power, all that. So, we expect that tomorrow night from him.
And also tomorrow night, Devin Haney putting his WBC lightweight title on the line against Jojo Diaz. We're going to see both men weigh in momentarily. Your thoughts on that main event?
I mean, first off, it's a treat for boxing fans, you know what I'm saying? Like, for a long time, the fans wasn't getting a good fights, like we saw a lot of high-level fighters fighting, kind of nobodies, right? But now it's starting to kick things up. Right now, we're getting a lot of high-level fights. So this is a very competitive fight, it's a lot of people saying Jojo gonna win, a lot of people saying Devin gonna win, So I think, for me, it's a great fight for boxing. For me personally, honestly, I can edge it out for, Devin because of the skills, but at the same time, Jojo is, he gonna bring it. He gonna just bring it to him all the way, you know what I'm saying? So, we gonna see, but it's gonna be a good night for boxing overall.
It will certainly be a good night for boxing, and the winner of this fight could be in line for a unification, an undisputed fight with George Kambosos. To do so, that winner would have to travel to Australia. Do you think it would be worth it to travel to Australia to challenge for all the belts?
Of course. Why not? I definitely think you should, man. I mean, for me, Kambosos, he earned that. He beat Tio. For me, Tio was the man at 135, and he beat Tio, and so, he earned the right to be considered the man, and you got to come to his hometown. So I think, and of course, Devin said, he'll fight him anywhere, and I think that, if they can go over there and fill up a stadium, they should do that.
Regis Prograis, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you back in there in 2022. It's now time to weigh in our main event, and to do so, we're going to throw it back up to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, where Saturday night, the brutal and beautiful saga of the 135-pound division continues as Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing and Devin Haney from Devin Haney Promotions in association with Golden Boy Promotions are proud to present the WBC Lightweight Championship of the World. This is the official weigh-in. At this time, please welcome to the stage the challenger. His professional record, 32 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw. He has 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of South El Monte, California. Here's the 2012 Southpaw Olympian, the former IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the world, and the current WBC Interim Lightweight Champion, Joseph Jojo Diaz. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, he is the defending world champion. His professional record, absolutely perfect. 26 fights, 26 victories, 15 of them coming by way of knockout. Saturday night, he makes his 4th defense of his world title, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Here is the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney.
Yes, sir. Beverly Hills. Yes, Calabasas. Yes, sir.
And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the challenger, Joseph Jojo Diaz. 134.4 for the challenger, 134.4 for Joseph Jojo Diaz. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC lightweight champion of the world, the young superstar Devin the Dream Haney. 135, bang on for the defending champion, the lightweight limit. 135 for Devin the Dream Haney.
Best in the world, multi-million-dollar, Patrick Mahomes money count, LeBron James put in the chain, be mean like Draymond Green. Yes, sir, you're never in a hurry. You shoot, like Stephon Curry. You're pretty, you're handsome, you fight Social Security out there, don't put a stick. You the best, you the most, Tom. We gon' beat him up. Beat him with that nuclear surge and leave that blood. Yes, sir. Shit on him, Tom. Ain't nothing like under you. Look at this little pretty white ass. You're French fry. Yeah, sir, you shouldn't fry. You gon' get deep fried. Lord Devin Haney gon' tell you bye-bye. Yes, sir. That Oakland with that fight face. Yes, W. Haney. Yes, sir. Beat up. Time to save us. Asshole, too. Don't fuck you in your ass. You're the sucker. You're the buster. You're broke. You gon' get beat up for $1 million. Take no time. Beat up for $1 million. You're a sucker. You ain't about nothing, JoJo. Talking about Fortuna. You ain't done nothing since 2012. You ain't had a fight since 2012. You ain't about nothing. Get out the king here, you chump. You ain't about nothing. You a right.
Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Lightweight Championship of the World, live on DAZN.
Devin Haney.
This is gonna be fun. I love this.
Jojo, you got some psychological problems. You know you slow,
Jojo Diaz, Devin Haney.
Lord Devin Haney, you got a lot of nerve.
You can sense the confidence from both men. It's the WBC Lightweight Championship of the World. And we will be speaking to both men.
You slow, Jojo. You gonna get beat up in your birthday suit.
Jojo Diaz, 134.4 pounds, his second fight at lightweight. Devin Haney, right on the 135-pound limit. And we welcome Jojo Diaz, the challenger. Jojo Diaz, on Saturday night, you will be challenging for the WBC lightweight title. You are as we learned, underdogs are always live. Are you embracing the underdog role?
Like I said, I was really did all my time inside that gym and inside that ring in professional ranks where I don't feel like I belong. That's amazing.
How you doing? What's up?
Just working.
This is your second fight at lightweight.
This is Uncle Haney right here.
December 4th. Be there. It's gonna be epic. He gonna see some shit and get hit with some shit that he's never seen before. I promise you. I promise you. Y'all won't want to miss it. It's gonna be good. For sure. No more Diaz. 4.
4?
He gonna go in 4 or before 4 on the 4th. Believe that. Believe that. You can count on that. Take that to William H. Betton, MGM Grand, where we gonna be at. Wherever you want to clean up, man, put it on Haney all the way. It's Haney time.
And that's from his uncle right there. That's from Big Uncle. All right. Thank you, brother.
3 fights for my career, and I'm just excited to be a part of, another big show. And I'm excited to just be here, performing my first main event here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. It's a dream come true, and I'm just excited, and I'm embracing everything and absorbing everything, and I know that this is my moment, so I'm going to go out there and do everything possible to put on a great show for the fight fans and come out victorious.
You will be challenging for the WBC lightweight title on Saturday night. Your final message to your fans and your supporters.
Thank you guys for all that support. Come up is real. Make sure you guys keep on believing in you guys yourself. Keep on working. Anything is possible, guys. Anything is possible as long as you guys put your mind to it. Come Saturday night, I'm putting on a great performance for you guys. I'm ready.
Jojo Diaz, thank you so much. That was Jojo Diaz. We will now be speaking to the WBC lightweight champion of the world, Devin Haney. Devin the Dream Haney. Devin, and fought a lot of tough competitors. You're only 23 years old defending your title. You've seen a lot in that ring already. We know Jojo's tough. He looks comfortable at the lightweight limit. He's a southpaw. Do you think he's going to possess anything you haven't seen before in a boxing ring?
No, of course not. I'm ready to carry heat. I'm ready to table. I ain't gonna do nothing. He shows up when
You fought here once before at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. You were 17 years old at the time. They made an exception for you to fight one of the youngest fighters to ever fight here. But that was an undercard. This time you're back and you're headlining. You're the main event. I'm sure you dreamed about this moment. I mean, what does it mean to be headlining here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena?
This is a dream come true. I just want to tell him that Lord Devin Haney is getting ready to do something to him that has never happened before. I'm serious as a heart attack. You guys watch it on DAZN. I swear to you, Eddie Hearn, there's no gimmick to this shit. Ain't none of that Teofimo Lopez daddy.
We know that you had a little face-to-face
Champ,
with
the
George
king,
Kambosos
Lord Devin Haney's uncle, folks ain't tripping. Diaz is in trouble. We making him as an example. You getting ready to see and get a sample. You dig what I mean? And it's gonna be a little bit, just a little ample. That way, that way. Watch my grandma. Watch it. Pay attention to that philosophical game that I kick and Lord Devin Haney put him to shame. You dig? And you gonna see it, man. They talk about that they heard it all over. You ain't heard about the nuclear slug that shoot them missiles from underneath, from up above. You never heard that before.
4th, this man, Devin the Dream Haney, defending.
You said it yourself. You smart, aren't you? That way, that part.
Challenger, Joe. To get the action started,
One of his cameramen saying something,
that's going to be at 1:30
we got to go by the rules because of Eddie Hearn.
Time. We will see you tomorrow.
From
my guest, I am Karan Bhatia. Thank you so much for being with us.
Other than that, though, they can get it, man. You know what I mean? Because Devin Haney ain't playing. Teofimo did that with the belt. We going to walk through him. Now we got Gamboa in Australia, and long distance won't be able to save him.
They need a round. It's not a game. It's not a game.
Charlie is really good friend.
I'm not meet him. Oh, yeah, we get too.
They're tired though. Can I just say quick thoughts on the fight, brother?
No, I gotta do my own work. Okay, but after.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
Yeah, respect to this guy.
Going down there?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you. Yellow wristbands, please. All right, yellow.
I've been looking for you, man. I got 3 more. Give me your number again.
That's all. April. Can I ask you 2 questions real quick for the fight? Or you're not trying to? It's simple. It's cute stuff, but yeah. I was gonna say, just how you feeling about that, and you feel like this is a breakout fight, or this is a chance to get towards being a star. And then the second one is, does it feel good when he names punches after you? Is that cool?
Can you give me time to think about my answer?
Of course.
But I'll do it for you.
Of course. Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll come back to you.
Okay, for sure.
Oh, this dad. All right. How you doing, Samantha?
Hi, Sean. How are you? Nice to see you.
Sorry.
He said exchange, and I said I'm gonna do what I do. And then he said exchange. He kept saying exchange, and then I said, nigga, I'm gonna stop you. And he said, he said something like, oh, he said, this is my show. I said, what? And he said, he said, this is my show. He said, this is my show. And then I couldn't hear him what he was saying. So I said, I saw it. I did like that. I said, what you saying? And then he said, this is my show.
What are your final? Obviously, things have been getting heated from the first press conference through fight week now. I mean, you guys aren't going to see each other till you step in that ring. Final words to JoJo Diaz.
Ain't the words we said up there. Now, ain't nothing to do, but we're fighting. That's what we're going to do Saturday. Watch it.
When you look into his eyes, what did you see?
Shine. Strap.
I don't believe that. Look in the eyes and you see.
With the strap. I'm going to talk to you. Come on.
We're going to fight for the fans. More prepared. I have the skills. Excuse me. Yep. So I just feel like I'm more prepared, better skills. I'm just an overall better fighter. And
did you happen to catch the?
Sorry.
The running church head with his camera guy, a little back and forth, a little pushing.
Nah, I didn't see. But
yeah, I think I'll put church on the next undercard, man.
You know, it might have been a little pushing, but he wouldn't have wanted to take it too far.
From after weigh-in to fight night?
Oh, just rest, and the hard work is done. Rest up, some more food, and rehydrate all the way, and be ready.